G'day and welcome back to The Grey Cricketer. If you got weekend plans, I would suggest keeping them. We're watching a good old-fashioned three-day test match. Welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ACO, India's tech-first insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry has just watched Sri Lanka get rolled for 212. Rolled? And Australia find themselves 3 for 98 in that order. And that's a great thing about covering Australian games because they say the wickets first and then the runs. It's the only country that does that, but that's how you do it properly. Pez, great day of test match cricket. Weekend plans, keep them.
I guess so, yeah. Like it was, 300 runs and plenty of poles, 13 poles. That's normally a good day or some shit. But
it's a great advertisement for test match cricket, mate. It's an 8-hour ad.
We're gonna do our three things here, and I want to set it up because it's the start of a series by kicking off with the GALLE aesthetic. So Australia's playing for the Warren Muralitharan Trophy or some shit. I believe what I said on Monday was more correct. We're playing to beat these coats by an innings while we all watch the footy and get upset if they don't. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well, but that's the reality in Australia.
Yeah, that's more of a banner than a trophy.
When you're in Australia watching the Warren Muralitharan Trophy, you see waves at GALLE, you see a fort, great surfing there. The stump mics are turned up really high. The audio crunches.
It's for Dick Weller, I think.
Dick Weller stuff, and there's a lot of Dick Weller stuff I want to get into. A lot of clapping around from the slips. Obviously, from an Australian perspective, non-English language conversations, which totally rationally understand. That's just fine. People speak different languages. Also, a lot of us from Australia be like, I don't know what that means. I'm afraid of that. People
Sledge me in English.
People appeal like someone's been set on fire, surprisingly. And I got to say, with GALLE, fucking hell of a playlist in between overs as well. Fucking Billie Jean at one point, and I love that. Some deep house on. My jaw's on the other side of the room. Just put the kids to bed. All of a sudden, I'm fucking... And I just want to set it up. Like, we could tell from today, it's going to be a trial by tweak. Sri Lanka's picked fucking 4 spinners. They've prepared absolute raggers. It's a crapshoot. Pace is redundant. Defense to spinners is redundant. It's one with your name on it batting. And Australia looks like they've had a good day on the scorecard. I'd be surprised if that continues that way.
Mate, it feels like fucking clay pigeons out there. And you're just out there, and you yourself as a batter are a clay pigeon.
And Michael Diamond is trying to shoot you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Getting some libelous areas there, I believe. Mate, GALLE's sensational. What a place. And there's like people put the banner there for the Shane Warne stand, the unofficial stand outside of the ground if you can't get yourself into the ground with a ticket. So I'll be looking into that in terms of an investigation. I just want to investigate people for some reason. But, it does give rise again, Pez, where, the ball's not moving in the culturally correct way that we understand it.
The Anglo-spheric truth of a delivery.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not sort of worshipping at the altar of the off bail as is our want from time to time. It's sort of more, can we get this outside leg hitting off? That kind of gear. I don't trust it, and I don't like it because it doesn't fit into my cultural understanding of how the game is supposed to be played, given the laws and physics of the cricket ball. I want my hard drives checked.
That's right. I saw 2 blokes.
I want them.
I saw 2 blokes in safari suits just watching the game, and I thought, nonce, really good. Anyway, okay, the second thing he goes, let's just get into the game.
Okay.
I'm titling it, is 212 good? That's what Sri Lanka made. They were bowled out for 212 with heaps of time left in the day's play. They won the toss, they batted, they put on 30 for the first wicket. I know, like you, I thought that's 30 too many. Seam up did nothing. Nathan Lyon was on in the 5th over. His first ball littered Alex Carey, and he had to be checked for concussion protocol. So that was a bit of a harbinger for what was to what was to come. And I'm sure if you're Alex Carey in that situation, you're thinking, "Fuck's sake, next 2 tests should be good." From a gloves perspective, like that'll be a serious test for him. A backbreakingly
I understand he's going to come out in the second innings with a mattress attached to him, one of a koala mattress. One of Steve Smith's koala mattresses in the second innings. Just get out there, just big old fucking 40 winks, fucking Mr. Snooze out there.
Like
Face on the mattress.
Is that like what Homer created for Lisa going to the school assembly that time with the mattress to see the side?
Yeah. He's fucking North Carolina or something.
Exactly. So I'm watching and I'm thinking Nathan Lyon needs 16 wickets here for Australia to be any chance. And yeah, what did we have? We had 8 first innings wickets to spinners. Sri Lanka played some dumb shots. Warner took a great catch. Sorry, I'm just running through it here. He goes, Like, okay, I think the tone of the way we're talking here is like it's ragging them. You know, we're offended by that. But for me, the truth is, I quite like it. Like, he's what I actually.
Like
he's what I actually
the
think.
The game's moving very nicely.
Yeah.
It's moving quickly,
and like it's a great test for Australia because Australia basically breeds its cricket on having 3 lethal quick bowlers, and then so the investment in quick bowlers then actually subtracts from investment in spinners, which means that we usually don't have that many good spinners, and then we don't have many batters who are good at playing spinners. So when we go to games like this, where Sri Lanka are like, well, the only chance we're going to beat these codes is if we prepare raggers, it means that we have to see if we've actually got any skill. So I quite like it. I thought Lyon and Swepson bowled well. I thought they bowled at the stumps. They worshipped at the altar of the off-bail in spinning terms. And Dick Weller's innings was the difference. You know, he came out. He was the busiest. He combined attack and defence the best. He had his scoop going. He was reverse dogging, and he got Sri Lanka up to 212. There you go.
Yeah. And most importantly, during Pride Month, very important to come out of this time of year as well. I think he started about 30 off about 20 or some shit like that. I don't know. It's just shooting, man.
Yeah, gotta shoot.
Like a clay pigeon, like Michael Diamond.
Into a trough. Hopefully it hits me.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, Dick Weller came out and I think he hit like 30 off the first 20 balls or some shit. And definitely changed the game, made Australia change the field. I think they brought Stark and Cummins back on to slow the pace of that. And then Swepson came back on and got the wicket of Dick Weller. In terms of good catches, Warner took an excellent catch. I thought Carey's catch off Dick Weller sweeping when it gets the toe of the bat outside off stump, that's a fucking...
Great shot.
That's a hard catch.
Great shot.
That's a really hard catch. So important for Swepson to come in as well. Now, Swepson finally got his crack into Test cricket and had to bowl in Pakistan and bowled without luck. A number of drop catches, flat decks, etc. Obviously, we've spoken during the week in the main podcast about the investment in Swepson and how turning deck, this is his chance. He takes 2 and 2 balls. The balls off to get to Silva and Chandimal are fucking...
Yeah.
As a batter,
Rippers.
that's just one with your name on
Rippers.
it. Like, just, you have to play on it. It's pitching middle and leg, spins enough, takes the edge, good catch from Carey. Both, the first one was a smaller edge, good catch with Carey, and then the second one sort of ricochets off Carey, goes to D. Warner at second slip, who catches it in his armpit, which is always funny to see. And then that gives rise to a hyena-style laughing.
Yeah.
Lots of U's.
Yeah, they carried on a bit.
Yeah, a little bit of carry on, a little bit of grommet behaviour at the back of Monavale there. It was all going pretty good. But they were 5 for 97 Sri Lanka, and they make 212. And I thought 212, that's a pretty good score.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good. And now Sri Lanka are prone to bad shots. We saw Don Best take, by all reports, the worst fifer in Test match history, bowling half trackers and full tosses. They are prone to bad shots, Sri Lanka. But 212, that's at least competitive, if not a good score, without it being a great score. But it's not a bad score.
So under the third thing, he goes, Australia comes out to bat. They've got plenty of time to bat as well. And I've got here Australia plays BAZBALL, or do they? They actually finish. I'll start where they finished. They finished 96 for 3, pretty good on the face of it. And it started really well. David Warner looked $1 million, biffing everything for 4 early on. Old school Warner, in a way, taking everything on. Especially, I think they bowled 1 over
in a floppy pace.
In a floppy, they bowled 1 over of pace. He took 8 or 9 off that or whatever. They got rid of that and just went straight to spin. And it felt like Warner was right, like... He was riding it, like the way Haydos did in 01 in India.
You've invoked 01.
Well, but it was like broom, then drive, then keep on moving, like a boxer who punches, then dances. He's busy. You can't ever catch him or tie him down. That was obviously their plan. Khawaja was trying to be busy too. And Australia, they got up to like 47, didn't they, for none? And you're starting to go, have Australia got these guys to measure? No. Don't let them settle, which is an approach to spin bowling, but playing against spin bowling. That can only last for so long because it's a fucking test match. The bowlers will settle, if you can't settle, see a doctor. Warner in a test match.
Got restless leg syndrome.
That's right. There's drugs for that. So Warner ended up, it turned from a little bit of BAZBALL wear on top of you. We're not going to let you settle down to this is a bit of there's one with my name on it. So I am going to go down the ground and I am going to play a few shots and stuff. Warner gets out, hits back pad, he's dead. And even the way he walked off, I thought he just gesticulated a little bit. If you've played Sydney grade cricket, you know the face. And the face is well, what the fuck am I meant to do about that on this shit
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Now, they're my words, not David's. But his face was talking. They bowled a lot of pump early on Sri Lanka.
Hey, I don't think Sri Lanka have bowled well at all, and they
just got it going
right in the game.
They just got it going at the end. Then, and then Dick Weller missed Khawaja as well. That smashed him in the face, and an ugly dive back from Khawaja too to get for stumping stuff. So that was that was all a bit grim. But yeah, mate. And then what are we looking at? Marnus just was trying to reverse sweep because that's what you do on this deck, and he just pops one up to the guy who's waiting for that shot. And then, like I said, he went from BAZBALL to one with your name on it to a run-out laugh combination. And that, as we've always said, there's no greater energy source or force in cricket than a run-out combined with laughter afterwards. And that's exactly what we saw. And all of a sudden, yes, the scoreboard looks sort of in Australia's favour, but after that happened, it was Sri Lanka's on top and... and so do you want to talk about the run out? I think we could say Khawaja and Warner played pretty well. Run out.
Agree. So a lot of discussion in the commentary about whose fault it was. Now, I think in the end of the run out, I think it's 60% Uzi's fault. But Smith himself goes, then stops, then goes, and so I'm why? But why are you running when the ball's 5 meters away from the keeper on a shit tip?
Can I say that? You know what I reckon it was, mate? It was being...
Yeah.
They obviously had this plan to be really busy and to push for 2, push for 3, find the singles.
It's also left-right combination to spinners, disrupt momentum, rhythm, kind of shit.
It looked to me like one of those fake singles, as in they're appealing for LBW. How about we have a look at a run, in this situation because we're so busy and enterprising, and then that fake run became a run. It was like faking to hit somebody, It was and then someone actually threw the punch, and you're dead. King hit actually as well. Got to get rid of it.
And then I thought Smith's reaction, he does this from time to time. He's allowed to be upset. I understand, but it was just wasn't clear. I think it was as much his fault. I mean, it was just.
It looked like Khawaja burnt him pretty. It looked like Khawaja started to go. Then Khawaja was like, "What am I doing? I don't want to be in this
What am I doing? The ball's there.
Yeah, I was just joking. I was joking about this run. I was just trying to look like I like a run. And then Smith's Smith doesn't read those social cues. We've discussed that. Smith's
he doesn't.
You want to run? So I'll go. And then Quash was like, no, it was a thing I read in a book. It was in the game. It's of the thing I'm doing.
I was actually negging him.
I'm trying to look like I want to run. I don't really.
Yeah.
And that'll happen.
We're going to kiss, and then I'm going to get my laptop out now and type and send an email. He's like, you're not interested in me anymore?
Exactly.
Oh, well, now I must have you.
Yeah.
That's what was happening.
That's what was happening. And all of a sudden, Smith's got shit on his top, and he is being, he looked pretty petulant heading off the field, but you're in a moment of criminal rage at that point. There's no worse feeling in cricket, I think, than getting burnt like that. Yeah. But yeah,
it was crime of passion.
Crime of passion.
I now see. It's interesting, mate, with the selections. Travis Head and Cameron Green. They are Australia's best next two batters. Well, this is actually my point because I'm thinking about Glenn Maxwell, right? And I said this to you on the old WhatsApp threads. I just think that Maxwell could. He could get out first ball. That could just happen. But he could also hit 100. And
Maybe he could hit 40.
And I think the way
he could get hot for 4 overs, and it actually helps you.
Yeah, Dick Weller's 50 off 50 sort of changed the nature of the day, because I think Australia would definitely be winning the game comfortably if that happens. I mean, Sri Lanka's batting not great. He sort of counterattacks and he's doing fucking ramps and shit, and Australia don't have that. And I'm just looking at Cam Green, and he's such a good player, and he's going to be a great player. But like, what's a good player? Where's a good player? Because they don't play on the fucking Gabba every game. I checked the roster before. They play in heaps of different places.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. And it's a big old front dog, and I just look at, Travis Head doesn't play. He's not a great player with spin. But he was, he was player of the Ashes, and that's good. But I just wonder if Maxwell was actually more utilised, especially Cam Grant's not going to bowl in these pitches. It's just going to be line and sweeps in this game, for instance. But I don't know. It's just an option. He's not going to play. He's not in the team. So there's that. I just think that. I also factor the way England have played is just fucking. Do you just smash it now? Is that how you play? I know it's certainly a way. Counter-attacking is certainly a way, and I don't see. I mean, Usman's form in Asia continues. I mean, it's just fucking amazing. Well, after what he did in Pakistan, what he did at the back end of the Ashes, of course, in Australia, but he's now on the verge of getting another 50 here, open the batting. It's an incredible asset to have, because at the moment he's sort of gluing this together. Now, Travis Head could come out tomorrow morning, hit 70. It's just going to be a real graft. He's going to really graft. And I just find on these decks where one's with your name on it, you can graft and graft and graft and make a fucking amazing 15 of 60 balls. And then it's like, well,
I don't know. I mean, Head
Tim David
can
should
go.
play.
Head can go if he needs to. I actually,
he can go.
I had expected Head would. It would be interesting to see how he plays tomorrow. I expect that he'll try and slap it around a little bit. It's funny, what he can do.
In the Ashes, that's how he scored so many runs. He did it at Hobart and the Gabba. He really went counter-attacking, which is interesting. I just thought of that just then. So maybe he can do it. Maybe he can do it.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Anyway, it's interesting. Australia's had, I suppose, a pretty decent day, but the signs of the rhythm of this match to me are very we're batting last, and heaps of balls are going straight on or turning 3 meters, and we're just we've got to do our best to put the bad balls away, but otherwise it's I'm hearing hyena appealing, someone set on fire, and I've been here before, and we don't normally win those ones, but they might outlast them, mate. But it's going to be some kind of counter-attacking innings, someone getting away to 50, 60, 70 that will make the difference.
Mate, you know what I can see? I can see Mitch Starc making a really important 37. It's just slog sweeping.
100%.
I can see it, and it'll get Australia 32 in front, and that'll be enough, or something. That's where it's kind of going. But I wouldn't have thought it's going into a 4th day. It's a rollicking day of Test cricket. Now, usually we do hashtag RCGC right at this moment, brought to you by ACCO, of course. But given the amount of Test match cricket coming up, obviously the England-India 5th Test match will be starting on Friday, and the 2nd Test match later in the week. So plenty of chance to get in your hashtag RCGCs in the comments below. And we'll be back tomorrow for Thursday evening wrap-up of Day 2, Sri Lanka and Australia in Galle. What's going to happen, Pez? What do you want to say?
I just want to say, if it wasn't clear, we will also be doing the dailies for England versus India as well. So it's going to be a fucking daily-a-thon in the next couple of days. There's plenty coming up, and looking forward to England-India as well.
Alrighty, see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.